Hello, team! So excited! I'm really excited to be hosting this call, and I'm so privileged, honestly. I'm so privileged to be here doing this with you all. For all of you guys that don't know me, my name is Shanina. I owned and operated a brick and mortar business for 8 long years until burnout hit really hard, and the people that are here that know me, they know my story. So yeah, and that actually pushed me to start looking for alternative ways of earning, right? And I've been in the online space now for about 4 years and recently came across this epic opportunity, Aurum, and I really believe that what we have here is something super special, super special. And because of that, I've invited Jeff Ross today, one of our key team leaders here in Aurum. Jeff is deeply connected in this industry. He speaks at global virtual summits. He hosts podcasts. He is a published author. And at the core of all his work, he's passionate about helping everyday people build income, influence, and impact. And he is amazing. And you're going to learn about him now. So if you're ready to learn from someone who understands this business, other businesses, leadership, leverage, and legacy, and who genuinely wants to see people win here, please help me welcome and give a massive warm welcome to Jeff Ross. Over to
Absolutely brilliant. You're taking the coaching, you've run with it, and I'm going to take you everywhere now to do my introductions for me everywhere. You've done a brilliant job there, Shanina. And thank you very much, everyone. So I live down here in Tasmania. If we've got an international crew, I normally like to ask, does anybody know where Tasmania is? Because it's normally the little island that gets forgotten off the main maps down here. We get forgotten about quite a lot, and we're okay with that because it's the world's best kept secret. Anyhow, let's dive into today's presentation here with all things this AI wealth secret, this Aurum AI trading bot that we've come across here and dive in. So, well, thank you very much, Shanina, for putting this together. And I'm just going to go through a quick presentation. Now, just a quick correction there. I'm not a published author yet. I've written a book. It's in manuscript form, and it's about to be published very, very soon. So very, very excited about that, to be able to call myself an acclaimed published author, but not quite there yet. Anyway, let's get into today's presentation here, and welcome to Aurum. Before we get started, I always have to just always ask to, do a quick disclaimer here. Let me just let me get rid of this Zoom thing here so I can see what I'm doing and things aren't a distraction. Sorry, for some reason there we go. Now I've got that all sorted. All right, now we can get into this disclaimer. So this presentation is meant to be shared for information about our project and should only ever be taken as, should not be taken as financial advice or guarantee of results. It's for education's purposes. Every investment that you see online, whether it be in the crypto space or whether it be an affiliate marketing or direct sales space, every opportunity, every investment carries risk, and your outcomes depend on your personal skills, your market understanding, and your risk tolerance. Okay, so I just drop a one in the comment that we're all playing above the line here. We're all here to step into a space where we take ownership, accountability, and responsibility for our own actions. Below the line behavior is where we go into blame, excuse, and denial, right? So the purpose of this education today is to inform you so you can make the most informed decision for yourself and how you move forward. And what you choose to do with that is entirely on you. So welcome to Aurum. And I always like to start with here. My very first question, whenever I look at any opportunity, I've been in this game since 2009. I've made millions of dollars in this space. So I've got my own sort of sniff test that I sort of look through the lens to see if it's going to be worth putting my reputation against and my recommendation against at the end of the day, because that's what it is, right? Affiliate marketing is just a recommendation to come check it out. Now, for those of you who don't know, my wife and I also have started an online discipleship community. So I'm not going to go just put my name against anything. And when I look at things, the first thing I want to know is who's the captain of the ship? Like who's actually got the keys to the control center and who makes the decisions and all of that sort of thing. Because when you're building a business in affiliate marketing, let's face it, we're building a business on third-party real estate. And when they own the ball, the bat, the pitches, and the players, we've got to play by their rules, and away we go. So I'm always wanting to know who's the captain of the ship. And when Josh said to me when he brought Aurum across my plates, he said it's Mr. Brian Benson, my ears automatically pricked up. Drop a one in the comments if you've been in the crypto space. If you've been in the crypto space, you may recognize this name. Brian Benson was basically one of the forces to get launching with Binance. And so he's been in the space, in this Web3 space, in the blockchain space, in the crypto space, now in the DeFi space for over 27 years. He's one of our early pioneers, but he's also one of our most recognized thought leaders in the world when it comes to this conversation. You can see if you go do a Google search or YouTube search here, you can see him talking on podcasts and stages and left, right, and center, whether it be with Binance or now whether it be positioned here with Aurum. To be part of recognized with Forbes and the recognized here on sort of Forbes Financial Council, bringing in someone like Brian Benson, you can't buy yourself to be on that platform. It's very much, it's invitation only, and they only invite the most strategic and the most influential players in this space to be a part of that conversation. So Brian speaks all around the globe, here at Singapore. He speaks on all things crypto, Binance and now with Aurum, so he's been on podcasts all around the globe. He's speaking on here on stages like this Builders Roundtable here, talking about the future of money and where we're going here in this space. Now, you may recognize some of those names. You can see Mr. Brian Benson there, second from the right. Once again, you can't buy yourself to be on these stages and platforms. It's very much, it's invitation only. And they want to know from your experience and wisdom. But you can see some other recognizable, notable names there. Just go search a couple of Google things there, and you'll see that this is a pretty big deal straight away. So what is Aurum? What is this AI trading bot that we're all very excited about? We're going to hear from Brian Benson himself in a second about his vision and mission of what we got. But let me introduce you to liquidity staking, which is stability meets intelligence. So what this basically means, right? We're going to take our money. And Rich Dad Poor Dad talks about this in the cash flow quadrant, right? To be wealthy, the wealthy play in the investor's square space of the cash flow quadrant. He talks about being employed. He talks about being self-employed. He talks about business owners who have systems and structure and people so the businesses are not reliant on them. I've played in each of those three quadrants over my career as an entrepreneur, and I've always really wanted to play in the investor space. I've only just been in the position to do that in probably the last 5 years. And this is where the wealthy play. This is where the Warren Buffetts and the Richard Bransons and the Bill Gates, they really play in this cash flow quadrant. And so this has always been out of reach for people like you and I, because normally you need tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to go make this really work for you, right? We've got things on the stock trade market, crypto, it's very volatile, it's very up and down. I'm actually in a crypto mining project at the moment that I was a part of, which got my introduction into crypto. But prior to that, this whole word crypto, it scared me. I actually got scammed $40,000 about 4 years ago in a crypto scam. I thought it was, you best thing. Actually, the person who brought me into it, he had a lot of influence in our lives. He used my influence and our friends' influence to go build a community, and we sold it to our people. And I put my reputation against that. And then, we get going. He actually pays it out, to me a little bit. I actually start to win, and I start to spruik about it and be an evangelist about it like I do to reinforce trust and credibility and all that sort of thing. And then 6 months down the road, he pisses off and he's gone with our money. So I've been caught out in that space. And I always said I would never touch crypto ever again. Well, you don't want to, judge every book by its cover, and you don't want to judge every experience by past hurt. So I put that aside about, 6 months ago. And I got into something that got me into get my foot into the door with crypto. And it was one of the best things that I did because it was one of the best educations that I've ever found myself in. And then just recently, this comes across my door where it takes even less risk and gives us even higher reward and helps us to play on the crypto markets without having to worry about when the crypto markets go up, we have to try and sell, or when we try and buy when it goes low. We don't even have to worry about that conversation because the AI proprietary trading bot does all of the hard work for us. So what we're doing here is we're taking our money, we're converting it into crypto, or if you've already got crypto, and you're going to put it into liquidity staking. So let's say if I put $10,000 in, just as a hypothetical example, the great thing about this opportunity is you can get in where you fit in, and I'll show you that in a second. But just for this example, right, we're going to take $10,000 and it's going to trade on the main coins here, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Tron and USDC and all of that thing for us. And so we don't have to worry about it. It does it. The bot bot does it for us, and it's on compounding interest around 10 to 17% per month, depending on the level that you get in and what you get access to. So let's just quickly hear from Mr. Brian Benson about our mission that he sees for Aurum, and how he sees this as a comparison to the early days of Binance.
We're on a mission to create 1,000 millionaires that don't have $1 million today. So if we can come up with a system whereby there's hundreds of thousands of people in there, but 1,000 of these people turn into millionaires, then those assets are inside of our platform. That turns us into a unicorn right away. And so that's really the goal that I have as an executive at the company, is how do we get people that don't have $1 million today to get them to $1 million through saving, through yield-bearing assets, through a lot, compounding interest, through a lot of these things that have been around for a long time, but that not everyone in the world uses. And these are tools that are super important to get us there. So that's how we're measuring it internally, is if we can get to the point where we have 1,000 people that have become millionaires through our system and through working with our products, then that gets us really close to the unicorn valuation. And we want to be a fintech unicorn. I think Binance was the fastest fintech unicorn ever in the history. I think it took less than 6 months. We used to have a slide about that in our pitch deck. So I'm pretty sure I've done this before. I've been involved in one of the fastest growing fintech unicorns in the world. And I think what we have at Aurum is actually very similar to when I started at Binance.
Right, so as you can see, here's his last words there. What we have at Aurum is very similar to what he thinks is what we had with Binance. Now, Aurum has been around since first quarter since 2023. And so we're being operational. So not only has it got a captain of the ship who has done this before and it's got a track record, it's also got a track record of a trading history, which I'll walk you through in a second. But how do you get started? All right, so what you've got to do is you've actually got to top up your account with a little bit of crypto. So either USDT or USDC. And if you're new to that, great, because we've got a community that'll help support you every step of the way. We're actually running power hour calls. We had been doing them 3 times a day. We're going to do them 2 times a day at the moment to suit the schedules for everybody's lives and all that sort of thing. But we're running 2 calls a day to be able to do live Q&A support. And also your person that introduced you to this conversation, they've been going through a steep learning curve together, and we're able to help support you in that journey. If you've been playing in the crypto markets already, awesome. We need you to come and help support our community. But you can get started with this amazing opportunity for just $20 or 20 USDT for the whole year. And that'll give you access. That's all you need to do. There's no ongoing auto ships or monthly payments. It's a yearly payment of 20 USDT every year for the subscription to be able to get access to the Aurum ecosystem. So what is this bot that we're all very excited? So there actually are several products in there. There's got some banking, they've got the card. We're not going to go into that today. We're just going to focus in on this product here, which I'm actually coining, and a few others are as well, as this has been like the unicorn opportunity of 2026. Like they say, it's the year of the horse. Well, I'm very, very excited and saying it's the year of the unicorn here. And so we launched, Aurum actually launched this in quarter 1, 2023. And so this is where long-term stable returns through automated AI trading is getting access to you. As you can see, there's already over $56 million in the trading pool as of last November 1st when we put this presentation together. Since the launch, they've seen over 538,000 percent return since the launch. I think that's pretty good, right? We haven't had a losing month since it's been running, anywhere from 10 to 17% compounding each month. Now, as I said, you can get in where you fit in. Now, I truly believe if you wanted to really leverage this, you need to get in at least at $1,000 to $5,000 and above to really make this work for you. But if that's not you, well, you just get started. I know people have got started for less than $500. But obviously, the more you put in, the more compounding interest that you're going to see. And I'm going to walk you through that example in the essay. Now, what about the risk part of this conversation, right? So what we're doing is we're calling liquidity staking. Now, I used an example of $10,000 before, so I'm going to continue with that example. It's hypothetical, but just stay with me, right? You see here on the bottom of this slide, what this means is you're going to put that 10,000, that original amount in. Let's say we put that in on the 1st of January. right? Now you can withdraw that either on the 1st, the 10th, and the 20th. If you need those funds urgently and you need to get access to them because you've got something that's an urgent rainy day fund or something like that. However, you can withdraw them on each of those days, but you're going to wear a 35% early redemption fee. What happens after the 12 months? It's all cool. You can withdraw it as many times as you like, how much you like. You're just going to have a 1% withdrawal fee. And you can withdraw the profits from that daily. You don't have to compound them in, but when I show you the compound calculator, you're going to see why you want to keep it in and use the compounding effect here. Because as Albert Einstein said, compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Like we were taught compounding in math at school and the power of that. So as you can see here, the higher levels that you get in, so like the 5,000, it's just under 14%. From 50,000 and above, it's 16.2%, for your compounding per month, right, on that space. So anywhere it can get up to 17.5%. Now, here's an example of $500 and 5 months worth of trading, right? So from the 17th of April to the 17th of September. So you can now see this account has had the $500 original dollars, USDT, and now it's got an extra $389 on top of that, giving it the $882. You can see that this account here has given us over that 5-month trading period a return on 76.4%. Not bad if I do say myself. I'm not going to see those sort of returns in my bank, in my long-term savings account, that's for sure. Anyhow, so here's what we're looking at here as like the 12-month success plan, right? And this example here is the $10,000 example, continuing that for you. As I said, to reinforce it, you can get in where you fit in and you get in where you're comfortable on that space, right? I know we've got people who are looking at this that are millionaires and looking at going and say, right, well, instead of having my money sitting in a low savings term deposit account, I may as well have it sitting in something like this. And, I can pull it out when I need to and all of that sort of thing. And we've got people looking at exploring putting hundreds of thousands of dollars in this. Actually, a bank offered to buy this from Binance for around $100 million. There's already over $12 million of venture capitalists invested into this bot. That's how much this got a lot of credibility and trust behind this. So let's go back to this example, right? $10,000, we're looking over here. So that's the 10th of April, and I want you to recognize the hashtag number 2, right? That's B34441972. So the 10th of April, and then we go over here to the bottom right-hand corner of the date there. On this example here on this slide, we're looking at the 16th of May. So let's call that 5 weeks. In 5 weeks, we're seeing a return of $2,300 on our original 10,000. Not bad. So that's a 23% return on our investment. Now, we're going to continue this example here. You can see that hashtag, over here with the B34441972. This is the same bot, the same account here in 10 weeks. We've seen a 55% return on our investment, over here. So now it's jumped to 15,000. In 12 weeks, we've seen a 74% on our return on our investment. You can recognize it's still the same account. It's still the same bot. But what I want you to see here too now, see how we've got a blue withdrawal button versus the gray withdrawal button? Why is that? Because it's now the 10th day of the month. Remember I said you can withdraw the principal amount, the original 10,000, or a portion of that. You don't have to withdraw the whole amount. You withdraw that on the 1st, the 10th, and the 20th day of the month. So you can see now that blue button is now blue because it's on the 10th day of the month. And you can also see here on the 10th of August as well on that, we've got the 10th day of the month, so that button is still blue. We've now taken that original 10,000 and we've basically doubled it to 103% return on our investment, and away we go. So in about 4 months, you've seen a return on your investment and you've doubled your money, and away we go. Pretty cool, right? You can see here now that we've started to build some confidence and some trust in the whole system. Now we're getting really excited. Still the same account here, B34441972, and this is over a 12-month period now. You can see there it's the 10th of the 12th in 2025. Now that original $10,000 has now jumped up to $39,000, so just under $40,000. That's not bad. That's pretty cool. And you see the green button there. What that means is that they've basically just kept reinvesting the daily profits back in and compounding on that, and away we go. So you can see there now there's another bot there above that. It's got now, what has that one's got? It's got it's got just over $1,000. So it's seen $730 profit in that time. It's got another one there and another one above it. The one below there that's got the gray button, what they're doing here is they've been smart with their wealth strategy. They've got 3 bots that are actually compounding, and they've got one that they've turned off to pay for their everyday bills and stuff in a way they've gone. So, they're playing the wealth strategy. And actually, my wife used to work for a company called Christians Against Poverty, and they taught this same budgeting strategy, with that space, with their budgets and their personal spending and space. So you had like 3 accounts where you had things working for you, and one was your everyday sort of bills and spending money. Now, we also do have an app that's been launched on Android. The iPhone app has been launched very, very shortly, so it's going to be coming on a mobile phone. We've just had this just recently on January 16th to 19th. Actually, 4 of our team personally got the opportunity to go over to Dubai. They're talking about it in the group chats already. So Aaron and Leanne and Kay and Raf and actually Pastor Joshua as well. So 5, sorry. Had an amazing time there over in Dubai. They got to meet the owner, Brian Benson. They got to be in the room with people like HP, who introduced Josh to this. And I'm going to talk about HP in a second. But, absolutely amazing time. And I can't wait to hear a bit more about all this myself. So that's the product. Right, so the product stands on its own legs. Now, if you're only interested in playing the wealth strategy game and you just want to make your money work smarter, not harder for you, then cool. Go and put your money into this bot and get it to work, and let's go and play the 17 to 10% compounding interest, and job's done. Away we go. But if you found something that is like the world's best kept secret and you can't shut up and you want to share it with everybody, just like Yanina is here with you now, just like I am with you here now, just like our team of 400 people that have joined us in the last 2 weeks, they want to take part of this partner program. Now, there's no extra cost to being an affiliate of Aurum. You just make sure that you've got at least the $20 annual fee activated, and you've got a nominal amount in your bot that's processing and trading, and away you go. You can go become a product of the product, and you may as well talk about it and help people win as well. And we play the wealth strategy game, and we get incentivized for our referrals. See, the company is smart. They don't want to play the Facebook ads game or the Google per click game or even the TV commercial game. They would rather put investment into us, affiliates, influencers, mum and pop shops who have got trust with our people and stuff. And that's where the marketing is going worldwide. Companies in Asia are taking billions of dollars from print media and pay-per-click advertising and now shifting that into influencer-style marketing. But they're not giving it to the Kim Kardashians and the Mr. Beast, style influencers. They're giving it to you and I. And so that's what Aurum's doing here, is taking advantage of our amazing affiliate program. And this is one of the simplest ways I've seen to win, when you can go do it together as a team, right? So you need 3 legs. You need team sales going all the way up to the top with you to go rank up in the comp plan. You basically need 3 legs that are growing. Now, the strategy here is with this comp plan, you can go put everybody direct to you and away you go. But the team that we're building here is one of generosity, generous with our times, talents, and treasures. So some of our builders are getting in early. Like, we're giving away personals so our people can get up and win and get paid and promoted. Because when we know people get paid and promoted fast, they'll stay and play. And we go build a winning culture and a team together full of generosity. And we've already seen over 50 people rank up in the first 2 weeks with us, hit the levels of Voyager, Vanguard. I personally hit Vanguard Pro. I'm like this close to hitting Nexus in just over 17 days since we've launched. So how do we take advantage of this? Let me walk you through it. So to hit Voyager, you need to make sure that you got $3,000 of level trading volume. So for every $1,000 of trading volume goes in, 40% of that goes to the qualified level volume. So as you can see here, you actually need 7,500 trading volume below you. Now, that doesn't need to be in 3 legs at this stage. It can be in 1 leg, but you want to start building 3 legs, because as you start ranking up, you need to have people ranking up behind you to qualify for the higher ranks. So here unlocks, you get $100. You need to make sure you got $100 at least trading in the bot for your personal contribution, and then you get a $100 bonus for that. But this is where it gets interesting. It's in the team profit share over here, right? So in Vanguard, I started to see this with my eyes wide open. It's like, oh, hang on. And I'm going to be very transparent here in a second. I'm going to show you my own back dashboard. I'm going to show you the little transactions that I'm getting here on a daily basis, just to create that level of transparency for you. But I'm now starting to receive at Vanguard Pro, I'm starting to receive 10% profit share from the team. So just from the partner program alone, I'm now making around about $200 to $300 per month, and you could go do the same thing. I know Robin, who's on Voyager, is starting to see some daily increments are going. I know Dale, who's on Vanguard, starting to get excited about this as well. And then this is where we go build this together as a team, right? So we can play the bonus game here and leverage the bonuses, and the bonuses actually get quite attractive as you start to get to the higher ranks. You can see here in Dominion. Why aren't we moving forward? Okay, so Dominion here, right? So the reason I highlight Dominion is because the person who introduced Josh introduced me, and then away we go. HP was his name. He's only been in this 9 months. He's only introduced this to 12 personal directs. Those 12 personal directs and everybody below him have now got a team of around about 10,000 under him. And we're in amongst that team, and he's part of his fastest growing team ever out the gates. Like we're smashing records left, right, and center with people ranking up in these early days. So to qualify the Dominion level, he needed to make sure he had a couple of people hitting some of the lower ranks in 3 legs. There needed to be like an elite, there needs to be like a magnet, and there needs to be like a mythos in 3 separate legs to be able to qualify for that Dominion level. He needed to make sure he had 10 million volume in level trading volume, which is actually 25 billion in trading volume below you in all of your legs. That now qualifies him for 17.5% on the direct sales. He's got 100. He's got to make sure he's got 150,000, being invested in the bot that's trading for him to have his personal contribution. That's unlocked a $500,000 bonus. But this is where it gets really interesting. From the 25%, team profit, HP showed me the other day, he's actually making $10,000 a day from this partner program. Like, if that doesn't excite you, I think you might want to get a pulse check. You might be in the wrong room, right? But you can see here at the bottom of the leg there, legacy reg advancement requires team sales volume in a certain rank structure to requirements across all 3 separate legs to be able to make sure that you qualify. Only 40% of the volume goes towards your legacy volume that turns over for the next legacy level, and it keeps building, and away we go. So we're going to open it up for Q&A here in a second, but just before I do that, I do just want to shift screens here and just show you my DAC dashboard here. And I want to go here and show you this profit calculator. This is where it gets really cool and interesting and starts to actually give you some sort of context, right? So I put $500 on my bot to get started. I've now reinvested another $1,000 on that. I've now got over $1,500 on that. Since I've been in this, with that bot, you can see yesterday I got, $7 there. I got $4 there. I've now accrued over $67 since the 3rd of January since I got started. And that's my own bot there in transit and going on. I've got a compounding interest, and away we go. Now, so I take $10,000 and I go 1 year. I turn the compounding interest on. Over 1 year, that $10,000 turns into $63,000. I don't know where you can do that in any banking in anywhere I know of. So that's pretty cool. Let's go to 3 years. 10,000 over 3 years now turns into over $3 million. And so you can start to see now you can play the compounding interest game. Now I can turn the compounding interest off. So if I want to turn it off for a month and I want to withdraw it, the profits are just going to go here. I can withdraw it. I can put it in my bank account. I actually want to show you some transactions here to actually show you that I've actually put in from the partner program itself since I've started. Actually, just show you, because people ask me, Jeff, this is all really good and well, but what about getting the money into your own bank account? So like I've actually done quite a few withdrawals, you can see here, back to my Kraken account. It normally takes about 24 hours for the withdrawal to process. That one was only processed, late last night. So there's about 500 USDT that'll go back to my Kraken account. From my Kraken account, I can convert it back into Australian dollars, and I can put it into my bank account from there. Right, so you can see here, if I go to the finance tab, bring this here to USDT, in 17 days, I have personally withdrawn over just under $3,500. So as the team profits start to come in, I'm making 2 cents here, 1 cent there, 4 cents there. If you go back to some of the transactions, 12 cents there, the higher the amount that people put in. I had someone put $7,500 in the team the other day, and I got $300 off that, and away we go, right? So, $4 there. And so it all starts to add up. You can see there's 268 pages there, of that space. So that's where you can really start to leverage the partner program in itself. You can see here, it can be completely transparent from the partner program and the bonuses. I've now earned with the $1,600 from the actual bonuses we're here ranking up. Now just over $4,500. And this has just been all transparent to show you to lead by example. For me to hit the next rank, you can see like I'm so close. I need over 7,000 trading volume below me in the team. Then I'll hit the next rank. Once you hit the next rank to Nexus, you can do the same thing. You can earn a $2,000 bonus, and then we're on to the next one. So to Oracle, I need to make sure I've got 2 different legs that are growing. I've got 2 Vanguard Pros, so 2 people have gotten Vanguard Pro here. And then you unlock the $5,000 bonus, and the same forth, and you go forth, all the way to Alpha, which is a $3 million bonus. So pretty exciting, and away we go. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to give you, a quick overview of Aurum itself, from the actual bot and the partner program. And now I wanted to also give you an opportunity here to ask me some questions. And I'm pretty sure Yanina wanted to do some team training stuff and whatnot in that space. So Yanina, back to you. How is that? Have you got any questions? Does anybody have any questions in the chat that I may have missed? And we can go from there.
So I'm all good. I don't have any questions.
I'm just looking at the chat now.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, whilst we're here, let me give you the ability to be able to unmute yourself. I've got to make sure I tick that box again. Sorry, guys. Let me just fix that up. You should be able to unmute yourself now. And so you can unmute yourself. If you've got a question for us, please feel free to ask. This is an open mic moment. And, I love to do these live Q&As to help create clarity. So who's got a question for us?
James is taking it all in, he's saying.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's taken me a while as well to take it all in, but now I've been in it for 2 weeks, and I can't even believe it. Like, I've made more money here than anywhere else, including in the bank. I hit Voyager and I got $100 bonus that same day, and I reinvested it back into the bot. So yeah, I've only put in 100 and I'm up to about 400 and something in 2 weeks.
Nice.
So, and that's USDT, which is equal USD. So here in New Zealand, it's great money, and it's only going to go up. So super excited.
Cool.
Yes. So I guess if nobody has any questions, I would
Sorry,
love.
Yanina, this is Katie. I do have one
Hi.
question.
Yeah.
Hey, Katie, how you going?
Hi. So I was talking with Yanina yesterday about I had signed up some of my family, and I just was trying to figure out what the better strategy would be to, you want to help the team and put people under the other people. Is it better to have less accounts and then just, put the money into the one, if that makes sense?
Yeah. So I totally understand where you're going with this question. So what we're actually talking about from a leadership perspective here is those of you who are able to do it. Now, it's obviously if you can, right? There's no pressure in this strategy. It's very much if you can do it. We're talking about doing what we call the family pack, right? So I've got my position at the top, and then one of my very top 3 positions, I put my wife in. Right. So, and then I've got my best mate, Dave Miller, in. He's my business partner in. And then I've got another, key leader here on the other one, on the other third leg. And away we go. Right. So, I helped, basically put in for, like you can see, I got $1,500 on my top bot. What I did to actually hit Voyager to sort of give it a bit of a super, boost up was I went and put in another 3,000 on my wife's, position. That gave me 3,000 trading volume. So all I needed was another 3,500 trading volume in the team to go hit Voyager. And that's the way I hit Voyager in 2 days. Right. So it's all about being strategic. So I've got 2 bots working, yes, but I'm probably going to keep this top position, and I'm only going to put in enough to keep the contribution for the bonuses. But I will also, make sure I'm putting into the bot position below that top spot, say on my wife's spot. I will fund that more than I will fund anything else to help me to keep ranking that top spot up. Does that answer your question?
Yes. No, I totally understand that. I just, I know you can, you have to be 18.
Yeah, look, you have to be 18 for the KYC processes. You have to be 18 to use anything like Kraken or Crypto.com or anything like that in that position, in that space. What I was going to say in that space. So there's nothing stopping you from having multiple accounts. You just need to make sure you've got a separate email and a separate mobile number for the other accounts. So my wife owns a mobile number, My son owns a mobile number, so I've actually got 3 positions. I've used my son as his mobile number to whatnot to have his position, but we can't really touch that until he's 18, and
Right.
so he's 15, so he's got 3 years before he can really do anything with that. However, I can transfer all of the profits from that account to my main account, and I can look after it from there.
Okay. Gotcha.
You can do like Aurum to Aurum transfers.
Mm-hmm. And there's no limit to how many accounts you can have.
Nope.
Okay.
We've got people who've got millions of dollars in this.
Well, that'll be me one day.
Let's get you there. Let's do it. I love the attitude.
Yeah,
Cool.
Katie, let's go.
Bruce, I can see yourself. You unmuted yourself there, mate. Have you got a question?
Yes, 2 questions. One, what's the best way to contact Aurum customer support?
Yeah, great question. So here, let me just share my screen with you. So there's 2 things. You want to log in. There's a chat bot here. You can go through that way. I've had to do it a couple of times.
I've tried that, and I'm not getting much response.
Okay. Yep, that is very much an AI bot, and it is worked on their system. I've had reasonable support with them. They normally take about 24 hours to get back to me. There is an email. I'm trying to think of the email off the top of my head. Give me 2 seconds. I'll see if I can find it for you, and I'll put it in the chat.
Second question is, can a person have more than one account in the same name?
Yes, but yes, you can, but you need to have a different email and a different mobile number.
Okay, that can be done.
I have seen people do that. I'm not necessarily going to recommend that you do that because I don't necessarily know if you can or you can't, but I know people are doing it. So that would probably be a better question to ask Aurum support.
Yes, I think so.
Just to be careful, yeah. I know there are people that are doing it, but if a person goes jump off a bridge, will you go follow them? So go back to
when they start doing KYC, it may be
correct. That's where it's going to come down and be challenged. Hang on, let me to edit that. That's not linked. You don't need that HTTP stuff in front of it. It's support@aurum.foundation is the email. There you go.
Support@Aurum Foundation.
Yeah.
Aurum.foundation.
Yeah, so support@aurum.foundation, I'm pretty sure is the email, yes. Foundation is just like, it would be aurum.com. They've got aurum.foundation. Like my email is jeff@lld.email. So emails are a little bit different these days with domain stuff. So that's the support email there, support@aurum.foundation.
Thanks.
Absolute pleasure. Any other questions?
James put in there again, I have multiple bots working.
Mm-hmm. You can have multiple bots on one account. Like on my wife's position, I've actually got 2 bots. You saw on that slide there was one account and it had 4 bots. So you can have multiple bots on the one account.
Awesome. Is there any more questions? Do you guys have any questions on staying motivated, how to promote this in social media and things like that? Could you share a little bit about that, Jeff?
Yeah, sure. Look, this is basically what I wrote my book on. So actually, is it okay if I give everybody a free copy of my book?
Yeah. I was getting through that.
Cool.
It's such a good book.
Yeah. Look, and it's exactly why I wrote this book is to do training on this. Basically, guys, I've been in this game since 2009. That's all my lessons and my wisdom, how to turn your message into your masterpiece and all that sort of thing. That's where you go. So look, when it comes to affiliate marketing, when it comes to direct sales, I see a lot of people, and myself included, totally suck at this game. Daryl's actually one of my students, and he's heard me say this saying quite a few times. It's almost like, this is like dating, right? And it's like we're all going in for the kiss too early. And it's no wonder we get rejection after rejection. It's no wonder we get all the no's. Well, how would you like to stop getting the slaps and stop getting the no's and actually start getting more yeses? Well, when you can start treating this like dating, like courting, like relationships, instead of going, I see you straight away, and then going in to go for the kiss or going to the boom chaka wow wow stage too early, You know, it's no wonder that people start to freak out at this. It's no wonder people get scared. You know, the picture that I like to paint here for people, and this used to be me, right? When I came to faith about 10 years ago, I was an atheist, and I'm not going to get into that story for you today, but I just wanted to sort of give you an example, right? I was an atheist. I found something. I found Jesus. I got really, really excited about it. I was the person that went around our town. I went door knocking, asking people if they would like to receive prayer. I was that person. So when you find something that you're really excited, when you're really passionate about something, I'm sure we've all done this, right? Drop a one in the comments if you've gone in and word vomited all over people. You've gone in too early. You've gone in for the kiss, essentially, too early, right? Now, if you're not putting one in the comments, you probably lie about everything else too. My friend Dr. Joseph McClendon likes to pull that out. He does what he does with the 10 toxic traits, and he talks about how we self-sabotage ourselves. And I'll do another lesson on that another day. But he goes, at the end of it, he says, if you're not putting one in the comments, it's okay. You probably lie about everything else too. Because that's the thing, right? We lie to ourselves the most. And so this is about really coming into this space. And John Maxwell talks about this and understanding that this is really a leadership responsibility. And all we are is guides on the journey. We've got to stop trying to sell people. We've got to stop trying to perform for people. If you've done this and you've got all up in your head, or you've got fearful and it's stopped it and it's procrastinated, I would dare say you've done it from a space of performance anxiety. I've been there, done that, and I speak from being the guide on the journey, because this is the stuff that I totally sucked at too. And everything is figure outable. So, if you're new to the journey, welcome. Great. Welcome to level 1. Don't go comparing your level 1 to my level 10,000. I've been at this game for a little while, made millions of dollars in this space, and I've had to figure out a few things along the way. One of the things I've figured out is what I was great at early on was I was great at doing the social post. I was great at doing the DMs. I was great at doing the systems, the tactics, the strategies, what I call now the horizontal dance. Right. When we look at, the marketing funnels, the social media, the lives right now, even presenting, all of this stuff, they're all skills that can be developed. But where people totally suck is they forget to do the buying psychology of this conversation. We get to feel like that people are human beings. We forget to that you're not just a sale, that you're actually another person with a heartbeat that has pain, that wants pleasure, that wants to get out of Sucksville, that wants to get to Awesome Town and everything in between. And so what we need to do is we need to position ourselves as guides on that journey. We need to stop positioning ourselves as the block. We need to stop positioning ourselves as the product. We even need to stop positioning ourselves as people putting the wall, because it's not about putting food on our plate and putting a roof over our head and making sure our bills are paid. It's about how can you be of service? How can you be back to good old customer fashion service? And that's all we're doing. And when you can position yourself in this way, all you're doing is you're just being a solution creator. You're pointing out people's problems. You're highlighting them. You're going to say, look, I get what Sucksville looks like. I've been there and I've helped thousands of people out of there because I'm intimate with that conversation. I can get inside the head of that conversation. And instead of coming across like a little puppy dog trying to hump people's legs on the beach, you can start to slow it down. And you can start to have heart-to-heart conversations. Now, there's an art to this. There's a skill to this as well. I was severely bullied as a kid at school, and I was really sociably awkward. And so, like, for someone to have to master this, if I can master it, you can too. And all this is just communication. It seems to be a lost art these days. Everybody wants to try and buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. And this is why I titled the book, You Don't Need to Shout. Because when you can master this identity piece, this leadership piece, when you can master this, you can learn to go deep with people and you can learn to rise above the noise. And we don't have to get into this, this red ocean. Like the affiliate marketing space, let's face it, it's incestuous. It's full of so much competition. It's full of this culture of this is my team, your team, and our team, and all of this sort of thing. It's got the celebrity rock star culture. Like, don't get me wrong. I want you to hear me. I love the network marketing industry. There are just elements, a part of it that I don't like. And it's because everybody is trying to get into the blood, into the sharks, into the competitive nature of it all. And we're all trying to just sell each other to make our own ends meet. But if we can start to position ourselves as leaders, as influencers, as guides on the journey to genuinely help people to see opportunities like what we've got here, then this is where passion and posture and confidence and belief goes through the roof. And this is what I call about going deep to rise above the noise. Because I've been there, I've done all the tactics. I actually tried to create a system that got me out of the conversation, tried to automate it and use bots and automation. That's how I didn't want to be a part of the conversation. You know, I love this business, but sometimes the worst thing about this business is the people. The best thing about this business is the people. So we've got to learn to take the good with the great, the bad with the ugly, and all of that sort of stuff with that, and realize that at the end of the day, this is the people-based business. This is relationship-based business. And I love, if you haven't done it, or if you haven't read the book, I recommend every affiliate marketer worth their salt, every person who wants to step up and grow up in this space, every person who wants to be one of those people on the stage where they're the top earners making millions of dollars, what you need to get great at and what you need to develop is leadership skills. So John Maxwell talks about this. There's a really good YouTube, actually. I highly encourage you to go check it out. It's called The 21 Laws of Leadership. So when I do sales training, you know, like I'm one of the best salespeople that I know around the world. I've got the gift of the gab. I've had to learn how to sell, right? And so I cut my teeth on selling timeshare of all things. So I know how to get inside to people. And there's two ways to sell. We can either manipulate people into taking action, or we can inspire people to work towards to saving themselves. We can't save anybody, but we can lead the horse to water, and so the horse can save itself. It's our responsibility. It's our opportunity. It's their opportunity as well to be able to lead that horse to water. You better bloody believe it. It's my responsibility that I'm going to give that horse every opportunity to drink that water. And if it doesn't drink that water, this is where I can step up above the line and take ownership and accountability and responsibility for my own actions and leave the horse there. And if the horse ends up dropping dead because it didn't drink the water, well then, too bad, so sad. That's the horse's fault, not my fault. And so this is where we need to start positioning ourselves and getting into the mindset of being of service, but playing above the line. Ownership, accountability, and responsibility is our culture that we're building here with our team. Below the line is blame, excuse, and denial. You know, at the end of the day, our brain is broken up into 3 stages. And so this is where I get into a lot of deep psychology around this, buy-in psychology, in my book. You know, Daryl's read my book. I think you'd probably say it's one of the best books you've read, mate. Just to toot my own horn. Why not? You know, who cares about this tall poppy syndrome? And so, you know,
it's up there.
It's up there. There you go. Thank you, mate. Thank you for bringing me back down to earth. You know, Daryl and I got a good bit banner going. It's just a bit Aussie mateship. So this is about creating a book, though, it's about going from not just about information, but into formation. It's a book that challenges your identity. It's a book that will challenge you to get into that space and position you as a guide on the journey and as a leader on the journey. And when you can master this conversation, you start to position yourself as an influencer, because people your words start to have weight. Your influence starts to build trust. Like right now, I'm commanding the room, right? I've got your presence. I've got your attention. You know, because what I'm saying, it's landing on the heart. I know my audience intimately because I was you. You know your people intimately because you were them too. Another great book that I read that really helped to reinforce this is Story Matters by Donald Miller. We all need to stop trying to be the hero of the story, and we all need to start positioning ourselves as the guide of the story. And if you can position yourself as the marketer, as a guide, instead of the rah-rah hero and all that type of thing, you'll see a lot of traction start to happen. But then, you know, once you start to build these principles in, this type of success that, you know, you can see a lot of attraction like marketers like me. When I put up a post on Facebook these days, if I don't get at least 10 comments, people saying, yes, me getting in my inbox, there's probably something wrong. I've missed the mark. But I've had to build that trust. I've had to build that credibility. It's taken me a good solid 5 years with the brand, with the Laptop Lifestyle Dads, to go develop that type of influence. So you know, we live in a society at the moment that is microwave instant gratification society. And so we forget that we've got to go put the reps in. What are the reps that we're putting in? Well, if you can start putting in content that starts focusing instead of just pitching and selling all the time, if you can start creating content that is of service and leaves people with wisdom bombs and lessons and value and tangible things that they can go and take away with right now, just like I'm doing here for you right now, and you go do that daily, you start to build that doctor type patient relationship type sort of trust and credibility with your audience. And when you do put an opportunity in front of them, oh, yeah, Jeff's recommending it. He's recommended some good things to me in the past. I'll check it out. I'll go and explore it. And away we go. But that doesn't mean you can't start from day one to start to get things going. The way you do it is you start to get into people's conversations and you start to reach out to the people that you've already got some warm trust with. And this is what I call two sides of the same coin. Attraction marketing and social selling is just one side. Sales and recruitment and team building is the other side. I always say to people, start with the sales and the team building first and build your attraction marketing and your trust and your influence muscle second as you go, as you build. Everybody tries to do it the other way and they wonder why they get frustrated because their posts don't get likes or get comments and gets crickets and all that sort of thing because they're not focusing on actually building with people. So read the book. I'm pretty sure I dropped the links in the comment there for you. Yep, grab yourself a copy. And please do give me some feedback. That's all I ask for is just the feedback or some testimonial because it's still in manuscript form. It's not published yet. I'm about to send it off to the editors to self-publish it in probably the next month.
Yeah, sorry, I got that wrong.
That's all right.
But it's there. I started it and I was like, oh my God, this is speaking to me. This is me.
Right.
So, yeah.
I start off with, and I'll give you a disclaimer. I start off my story with very raw and real deep shit. I just cut straight through to it. So, I talk about how I almost tried to kill myself and how I basically found myself in that identity crisis.
Yeah. I think that happens as well when we're in these type of businesses and we're exposing ourselves, especially online and to create, conversations and relationships.
Yeah.
You always have the identity thing. It's happened to me as well.
Well, this is the whole point of this message and this training right now
Mhm.
is all we are doing is we're finding our purpose. Jim Collins talks about this in his book, Good to Great. And so we can leverage affiliate marketing, the online business opportunity to create a very wealthy lifestyle for ourselves. Now, wealth is defined as having purpose, having financial freedom, and having our health. If you haven't got those three boxes ticked, you don't necessarily have a wealthy lifestyle. And so I know my health this year is paramount. And so I'm wanting to shed about 45 kilos this year. So I'm on a mission to go do that. I've been able to tick the box through financial freedom by living my purpose, doing this here and opportunities like Aurum today. But I position myself in this industry in opportunities like this, not to sell the product, not to build the business, but to help people build like you. This is what I love. This is what I'm passionate about. And so this is like a personal development community with a paycheck, especially when you get access to a product like Aurum, and let's go do it together.
Yeah, it's amazing how it pushes you to grow.
Yeah, it's forced intentional growth.
Yeah, and on the
Gives you
way
no other option.
yeah, and on the way there, you find all these other epic businesses like this. It's because, yeah, I landed in a community that pushed me to grow, and that's how you get to know more people and more people. And now I'm here, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And the other thing I wanted to touch on was the excitement when this is something that really works and has worked for me in the past when you can send all these messages out, but if you're not excited about what you're talking about, no one's going to listen to you. And this is for me, it's really important that I share the excitement in my messaging and in my
I actually do a really in-depth training on that. Sorry to cut in, but I think it's really important because I do talk about a lot about this too. And you're right. You're right on the money, Yanina. If you're not excited about it, who else is going to be excited about it? And so, what I want you to, sorry, I've got about 5 minutes and I've got to jump, but just talk about the four levels of excitement. I'm going to jump off. Yanina, I'm going to leave you as co-host. If you want to continue to go, you can be host. When I do jump, though, the recording will stop, but you can still stay on
That's
with
all right. I've
your
got my
community.
kids. I kicked them out outside. We're still in school holidays. And New Zealand is
Right.
currently raining. So,
All right,
yeah.
I'm making you host, so if I have to jump, you can still stay on with your community here. But I just want to talk about the 4 levels of belief because this is what I believe helps you get excitement, right? And you got to have 100% areas of levels of belief in this place to get excited. And if you don't, well, then you need to talk to your upline, your sponsor, your mentor, your coach to be able to help you to reinforce these levels of belief. So, Shanine, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you believe in yourself? Like, do you 100% believe in yourself that you can do this?
100%. I
Ah,
do
good.
know.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's the first level. Do you 100% believe in this product that we're representing is a winner and it's helping people to win and it's transforming people's lives?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm getting there because I'm seeing the wins myself and I'm seeing your wins and I'm seeing my
There you
people's.
go.
Yeah,
Right. So do you 100% believe in the company that we're representing with Aurum?
I do. I wouldn't have jumped in otherwise. And I've
Right.
done my due diligence on Brian Benson as well.
Right.
So
And do you 100% believe in our industry?
100%. I think it's the best industry.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you can say yes to all those 4 questions, you've got no reason to be excited, not to be not excited about the product. And so I would say there's a difference between here with authentic excitement and inauthentic excitement. And inauthentic is when you're trying to fake it till you make it type conversation because you don't believe in any of those 4 areas, or there's one area that might be 90% there, right? So if you don't have that level of, that confidence that Shanina just showed, you got to ask yourself, what are those 4 areas are out of alignment for you? And that'll help you to pinpoint where you need to do your levels of belief and do some work with your own mindset, with your own attitude, all of that. Do your own research and that sort of thing. So you do come to that level. Because when you've got that level of excitement, that level of belief, your confidence is going to go through the roof. But what happens is you have a backbone, you get posture, and then you get passionate, in this space. And see, this is what I was talking about before. Everybody knows how to do the horizontal, all of the actions, but this sort of stuff is the vertical. This is the stuff that cuts through the noise and actually builds influence.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So,
Thank you.
guys, Shanita, thank you very much for pulling this together. Well done, champion. I really,
Thank you. Thank you for jumping in and yeah, leading the way. Thank you. I
my absolute
appreciate
pleasure. So, guys, if you're a leader like Shanina and you want to do this as well, I highly encourage you to reach out to Shanina. Let's set something up. I'd rather do more of these type of inner circle calls than the corporate calls all day long, because they're more intimate and they're a bit closer, and we can focus a bit on more community side of things, and that's what I love about them as well. So, Shanina, thank you very much, team. I've got to run. I'll leave you with Shanina, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Make sure you're a host before I deck off. Yep, you're
Thank
good. All right,
you.
all yours. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks. Bye. Right. Anyone want to have a chat? I'm here. My kids are outside, but it doesn't matter. Um, Otherwise you can just have a chat in the chats in the WhatsApp. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for supporting me. This is epic and nerve-wracking at the same time.
Was an awesome job. I love the start
Yeah,
of the call
thank you
like
so
that.
much for having this.
Yeah.
You. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully we'll do more as yeah, as we can. And yeah, I'm really excited and I hope everyone goes hard. And like I was saying before to Jeff, like we need to share the excitement. Like for me, when I was promoting other businesses in the past and a few years ago, it was like, hey, would you like to know about this? And people are like, no, what is it? And then I started like developing my skills in the whole, just putting through that excitement. Because like Jeff said, like if you don't have the belief in what you're selling, then why are you selling it? Um, so yeah, for me, it's really important that we like some of you guys that I've reached out to with this. I'm excited as hell because I know what I have here. So that excitement passes on to you, and then now you're excited and like you're here. So yeah, it's epic. Um,
It's
anyways,
true, but being
yeah.
showing that excitement, because I got a mate of mine who's seen me in this industry for a long time and has never approached me about anything. but he's seen my last few posts and got me on a phone call, and he's like, "What is this unicorn you were talking about?"
Mm,
Because he can see, I can see this has genuinely got you on a high, and it
yeah,
has, and
yeah. It's
it
a yeah.
is, yeah,
I mean,
amazing.
when you see what we have here, how can you not be excited? Because I haven't
Exactly.
seen it in any other business. And I've done, honestly, I've got 7 things going. And, but this is like insane. And it's made me the most money in the last 2. I've only been here 2 weeks. So yeah, it's epic. Oh my gosh, none of you is still on. Woo! Any questions? Do you guys want to ask anything or should we just wrap it up? Thanks, Diana. Deanna.
Daryl, I need to find out what your social is so I can see your posts.
Yeah, no worries. I haven't been posting a lot because I've only just got home. I've been out in the wilderness, completely off grid and disconnected for a few days camping with my best mate and our family. So I'm playing catch up and haven't posted anything for a few days, but yeah, they'll be flowing again shortly.
Yeah, and I'm completely disabled from Facebook, so I'm just doing this on WhatsApp. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's been a ride. Facebook doesn't like me anymore, apparently. So every account I create, it gets taken down like pretty much in a few days. So I'm like, okay, well, I just gotta stop for a little while and figure out a way. But yeah, oh well. Facebook is what is the platform I like the most and where I feel like I can make more connections. And I feel like life is like, nah, we're gonna really test you now, or we're gonna put you and throw you in the deep end. And I'm just having to figure out how I'm gonna do it. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump off because I've got my kids outside and it's raining, flooding here in the farm in New Zealand. And they're just outside on the little patio thing. So thanks so much, guys, for being on here.
Thank you so much.
Recording.
Thanks, lovely.
I really appreciate
Have
it.
a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you
Yeah,
are.
you too, guys. And I'll put a copy of Jeff's book in my chat. Daryl, you probably already have it. So for my team, I'll put it in our chat. And yeah, I started reading it and I was like, oh my God, this is me. And I need to carry on reading it. I think you guys are really gonna love it. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you guys in the DMs. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.